I never thought a simple dinner could unravel everything I believed about my marriage. Ashley had insisted on it. She said it was important. At the time, I thought she was trying to mend the growing distance between us, maybe even trying to save what we had. I didn't want to go. There had been tension between us for months. A quiet unease that hovered in every conversation, every glance. But I went anyway because I still believed in us. I still believed we were just going through a rough patch that we could fix. What I didn't know was that this dinner wasn't meant to heal us. It was designed with surgical precision to break me. The moment I walked into the restaurant, I sensed it. Something was wrong. The ambience was nice, the lighting soft, the table perfectly set. Ashley looked calm, too calm. Not nervous, not even detached. It was a strange sort of serenity in her face, the kind that isn't peaceful but performative. Her eyes carried something smug, rehearsed, as if she already knew how the night would end. Then he arrived. Chase Donovan. A name I'd only heard in passing, a man I barely knew beyond what Ashley had shared about her office. Just a coworker, she'd said. Nothing more. But tonight, Chase wasn't acting like just a coworker. His body language was different. Relaxed, confident, territorial. He smiled like a man who knew something I didn't. And Ashley, she mirrored his energy. Her laugh was too light, her glances too familiar. I felt like an outsider at my own table. Dinner started with small talk. Ashley kept pretending everything was normal. Chase couldn't stop laughing, not at anything funny, just laughing. The way two people do when they share an inside joke. I tried to keep up, to join the conversation, but it was clear. They weren't really talking to me. I was just there, an obstacle, not a participant. Then at some point Chase leaned back in his chair. His tone changed, sharp, deliberate. He looked at me and said, "You have two choices." And blinked. "You can walk out of here quietly and forget about everything. Or you can stay and see how far I'm willing to go." The words hit like a sledgehammer. I looked at Ashley, expecting outrage, a defense of our marriage. Of me. Instead she smiled. Not kindly. Not apologetically. Cruel, almost affectionate smile. And then she laughed. It wasn't real laughter. It was the sound of betrayal, dressed up in boldness. A smug declaration that I'd already lost. Something inside me cracked. I stood up, rage and humiliation boiling in my veins. I grabbed Chase by the collar and shoved him into the side of the stall wall. We struggled, yelling, shoving, fists clenched, until a restaurant employee broke us apart. People had stood up. Someone screamed. It was chaos. Ashley didn't move. She just watched. Cold. No concern. No regret. No love. That night, I lay alone in bed, staring at the ceiling, piecing together the last few months like fragments of a broken mirror. The missed calls. The late nights. The emotional distance. It all pointed to one reality. She had already left me. Not physically, not yet, but emotionally she was gone. I couldn't sleep. So I searched. Her tablet. Our shared computer. I didn't know what I was even looking for. But I found it. Photos. Her and Chase. On vacations she never told me about. In places I'd never been. Then messages. "Last night was perfect. I miss you already." He doesn't suspect a thing. Each word carved something out of me. This wasn't just a physical affair. It was an emotional betrayal, long-lasting, deliberate. She had built a life with another man behind my back, while I was trying to fix us. When I confronted her, I still naively hoped for some remorse, some shame, something. But instead she acted hurt, offended even. "Did you go through my things? I can't believe you'd violate my privacy." She never denied it. Never apologized. Just turned it all on me. Said I wasn't there for her, that I didn't fulfill her needs. As if her betrayal was my fault. That was when it finally hit me. She hadn't made a mistake. She had replaced me. Packed that night. There was no fight. No pleas. Just silence. Her indifference screamed louder than any argument ever could. In the weeks that followed I gathered everything. photos, texts, financial records. I discovered she had drained our joint accounts to fund her new life. I didn't want revenge. I wanted clarity, clean break, a foundation to stand on while I rebuilt. Then one day, I ran into Chase in a parking lot near my gym. He looked uncomfortable, like someone who'd just seen a ghost. "I didn't want things to end this way," he said. I looked him in the eye and replied, "I'm not waiting for an apology." And I meant it. Now, months later, my life is different. Simpler. Quieter. I'm not chasing closure or trying to rewrite the past. I rent a small apartment. It's not fancy, but it's mine. I started cooking again. Reading. Reconnecting with friends Ashley never liked. I began working out, not for revenge, but to feel strong, to reclaim my body, my routine, my will. I even went to therapy. Something I never imagined doing. But it helped. I unpacked years of compromise, of erasing my own needs to keep her happy. I forgave myself, not for loving her, but for staying too long after she stopped loving me. That's the cruelest part of betrayal. The realization that while someone was tearing you apart, you were still fighting to save them. Eventually, I stopped checking her social media. Stopped wondering if she was still with Chase. That chapter ended, not with a bang, but with a quiet door closing. Locked behind me. And then, one evening in a cozy little cafe, someone smiled at me. Stranger. Nothing dramatic. Just a kind, open smile from someone who didn't know my past. That small moment reminded me. This wasn't the end. My marriage was never the whole story. It was the painful beginning of a new one. I'm in no rush to fall in love again. Right now, I'm learning to love my own life. The stillness. The freedom. The lack of noise. Ashley once told me I never truly saw her. She was wrong. She never saw me. But now I do. And I like who I'm becoming. My story didn't end in that restaurant. Began there with pain, yes. But also with truth. And it's the truth, no matter how much it hurts, that finally set me free.